Let's go. Good day to you, sir. How you feeling? How are you feeling today? That's right. You better get your water in early. Yeah,
ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the hot seat. Starring yours truly, the one, the only, and my co-host, Mr. Sharon
Bracey. Let's
Flip
get it.
Flop Bracey.
Best take Bracey. Let's get it correct.
Man,
Let's get it correct.
It's gonna be a long show for you, sir. It's gonna be a long show for you, sir. How's the weather treating you out there? Hopefully, it's warm.
Actually, the last couple of days been nice. It's been a nice warm 50 degrees. Beautiful 50 degrees. I know for most people that sounds pretty cold, but for our part of town, 50 degrees is absolutely beautiful for this time of the year. It's beautiful.
It sounds kind of cold to me. So I'm gonna need my refund back for whatever time I'm staying in New York around that time. I needs my refund.
What up, Orchid? That's my girl, Orchid. I said her name correctly?
She'll tell you. Has she been on your show yet?
Yes, she told me it was Orchid.
No. She ain't been on your show. She only comes on my show. She don't like you.
I think she came like once or twice in my lifetime. And then she said, you know, Sharon, you too goddamn much. You too funny. Every time I go to your show, I'm laughing out loud. And people looking at me crazy and strange because I'm always laughing and they think I'm crazy.
She has a really interesting voice.
Does she?
Yes.
I never spoke to her on the
That's
show.
what I'm trying to tell you. She ain't never been on nobody's show but mine.
Damn.
Yes. That was one of the fun nights too. Now she's pretty cool. She's really cool.
Yeah. So how was your day today? All in that all nice and warm.
Business wise, it was rough. We had to cover a lot of the staff. For some reason, people catching sicknesses, and we can't afford no big clients to walk out the door because they don't want to show up. You know what I mean, and handle their responsibilities. You know what I'm saying? Like, get that money. Get that money right back. But other than that, honestly, this time of the year is pretty slow. Because
hey, reality, good to see you again. Today we are talking about sports and culture. This is a young lady I was telling you about earlier. She was absolutely cooking on today's show.
Chanel?
Yeah.
Shout out to Chanel. I'm gonna try to go back if you timestamp me, and I try to catch it because
she was cooking. Absolutely awesome. I'm
glad. I don't know. I gotta see people that be cooking like that. If they don't know no sports too, then I don't know. They gotta be versatile. So I gotta see if she know her sports too. All right, for sure. Playboy, what up? Let's find something less toxic to talk about tonight. This show is kid friendly. It's designed this way by me in particular. You ain't gotta worry about that. He is the new asylum owner, so I don't really deal with those type of things. No, I mean I have a show every blue moon. Every blue moon, it might get a little crazy. Atticus, what up, brother? But other than that, life is going well. I mean, I get through another day. Honestly, I really like the grind that come with life. You know what I mean? I like the day in, day out. You kind of fall in love with it. But there are certain days that's hard. That's just hard for you to push through, man. It just be some days like that. But I actually love this time of year because I really get time to sit back and kind of assess things. Things slow down a little bit. And people are with their families, traveling out of town and all those things leading up and then into the new year and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
And the bad thing is I got a bunch of events that I got to go to for birthdays and all this type of stuff. And it's so many in December. And I mean so many. I'm upset about it because I don't think I can make them all. I don't think I can make them all.
She said she deal with the real Texas team. All right.
There she go. There. Look here, Miss Chanel. It's a lovely name. I'll give you that. But this is my sports show for a reason. Don't act like this what we do over here. And when I say we, I mean me. I carry him all throughout the show. All throughout the show, I carry him.
Let's take Bracey for a reason. How did we? Matter of fact, you know what? We can start with
my back hurt. My back hurt because from carrying you so much on this. Ow! Ooh, that's back pain right there. Woo.
I want to know, how did we do on our picks this weekend?
I got all that. Yeah, you see here? I take all the notes, baby. I got every team. I got to every team. Don't worry. I do everything. I got everything. Don't worry. No problem.
I beat you again this week. Just like
we gonna get into it. Man, oh man, because this was the first time I really wrote down the notes a certain way so I can have a consistent way to actually process the picks and who picked and scores and all those things. Because I handwrite everything, right? Because I can't type 100 words per minute. So
damn,
it is what it is. And I don't play fantasy. I don't play no fantasy. Okay.
We should probably have a fantasy segment though.
That's an interesting way to look at it.
We probably should.
I live in the real world. So
I feel you.
I live in the real world. So I don't really, you know what I'm saying? I don't.
We got a real. Hey, she said she got trophies, bro. You better be careful.
See, that's the problem with these newbies. You get in line. Get in line. Tired of these newbies. You know what I'm about? Sick of them. Well, Mr. Sharon Bracey, it's been quite a full dose of football. We had Sunday explosion. And we got Monday night going on right now. That game is full of teams that aren't making the playoffs. So I'm not too concerned, especially any teams that are in Texas. I ain't really too concerned about no Texas teams making playoffs and actually doing any noise.
Actually, I heard like all the kids that is that's in CPS situations, they said they want to move to Texas because they team beat nobody.
Yeah. Chanel says you're like 29. No, baby, I'm an old man. She said, stop it. I've been doing this long before you was getting your diapers changed. Absolutely not. I'm an old man. Okay, they just didn't tell you it. They did not tell you. You're too young to be my mom, unless you was a teen mom. Okay, so let's get into the show. And we're going to start with probably, and I mean, when I say probably, the most explosive show of the weekend. And it was a offensive explosion. There was no defense on the field that night, okay?
Okay.
And I'm talking to you about the 10-3 Buffalo Bills and the 7-6 Los Angeles Rams. Okay, I'm telling you now, that particular game was on fire.
Okay, I agree.
Back and forth. I really don't like when teams don't punt the ball. It bothers me a little bit because I like defense. So it frustrates me a little bit when there are no actual real defense. Like when you can go to.
I disagree about the defense take.
You disagree about the defense.
They was playing defense. It's just the offense was playing out of their minds. The quarterbacks was playing out of their minds. I mean, Stafford got out the pocket, was running, and making passes. What is this?
Do you know how many times there were punts in the game, sir?
Probably 2.
1.
There
was one punt, and it was in Buffalo. That's my point. So let's get into the game. Let's get into the game. The Los Angeles Rams secured the victory, 44-42, in a last minute. It was a shootout. It came down to the last few seconds of the game. Okay, both of the quarterbacks went off. I'm talking about explosion. Josh Allen threw for 342 yards and 3 touchdowns. His QB rating was through the roof. His QB rating was 90. And if anybody understands how QB ratings work, that is, I would say, almost magical. Okay. He ran for 3 touchdowns. He threw for 3 touchdowns. He was just on fire. Okay. His counterpart, Matthew Stafford. Okay. Super Bowl champ, they say.
They say.
I'm just saying that's what they say. He threw for 320 yards, 2 touchdowns, and had a QBR of 97, meaning His plays were more impactful than Josh Allen's plays based upon the QBR metric system. Okay. Josh Allen was the leading running back for his team. He had 82 yards, 8.5 yards to carry. Karen Williams was the leading go-getter for the Rams. He had 87 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, Puka Nakua, I don't know how you say his name. He made some amazing catches.
Phenomenal.
He made some amazing catches. Cooper Kupp, just a veteran, steady hand. He was remarkable. That Khalil Shakir guy, that I don't even know who he is, but his name need to be known now because that's how well he was playing. That game was fire. That game was fire.
The ball spread all across the field.
Yes.
Running plays was doing just what it needed to do. Everything about the play calling was phenomenal. The play clock management was on a whole nother level because I think Buffalo Bills dropped the ball a little bit on clock management, and that's why they actually lost. I think when they was at the goal line and they decided to do a quarterback sneak on the first down on first and goal with 2 yards to go was a huge time mistake. I think they should have either threw the ball or just ran a regular sweep with their running back because it cost them way too much time on the clock. Or what they should have done when they had about like close to 2 minutes, a little bit under 2 minutes on the clock, they should have kicked the field goal then and try to give yourself some time to make the team do a 3 and out, so you actually have the chance to win the game. But the fact that they went for the touchdown first, it took way too much time off the clock. Bad clock management, in my opinion. But also, going for a field goal when you was that hot would have been a very controversial call as well. So I could kind of understand it as well.
Yeah, no, that game had 0 turnovers. So that's why there were really no punts because the offense, both offenses were playing at the highest level they played all year.
Yeah.
It was just too much firepower. Neither team actually could do it. I will say this: neither team got really a sack either. If you actually, I don't remember any team getting a sack. Do you remember any? I don't remember a sack that game. So I don't. It could have been one, but I don't remember one.
I think it was. I think Josh got sacked once. It was a play that I kind of remembered. I was like, why you didn't? But for the most part, that's why I was surprised because Matthew Stafford, he even ran out the goddamn pocket and threw a bomb. I was like, what is going on?
It was one of those games. I'm telling you, I don't think nobody got sacked. I think Josh Allen was under more pressure because he's a little bit more mobile, so he probably got hit or threw on the ground a little bit more. But I don't remember any sacks because I can't remember. I was watching the game. I'm trying to play it back. But if there was one, we're gonna have to have somebody pull that up for us. This is my question to you, sir. After you watched that whole game play out, the shootout, the back and forth, did Josh Allen secure the MVP based upon that performance?
Absolutely. He not only secured the MVP, in my opinion, to beat out your guy, your Philadelphia Eagles superstar. The only reason why the Eagles is even relevant.
Stay focused on the task at hand.
Josh Allen, he not only proved that he is the top MVP candidate, he also proved that he is the best NFL player in the league right now. I don't believe anybody else is going to do what he did. 3 passing touchdowns plus 3 rushing touchdowns, no turnovers, the amount of yards, the vision that he had, the passes that he was connecting with. He seen the whole field literally at one time. He was absolutely phenomenal. Even though he did lose, I don't think too many people is going to have this kind of performance and lose. It's not too many times. We was having a conversation a couple of weeks ago about how Saquon had this phenomenal game when he was just running out of the goddamn stadium. I forgot what game it was, but when he had those 200 and something yards that game. And I was like, man, it's very rare that you could see the other team.
He could have did that to the Giants. They pulled him early.
It's so rare to see the other team also have a player that's playing in the zone that way. And that's going to give you that back and forth. And in this game, we actually had 2 teams in that same mental zone when they was going back and forth. They both quarterbacks was able to see the floor. And I just think that Josh Allen right now is playing out of his mind, losing the top receivers that he lost, dealing with a depleted team the way how he's dealing with them. There's no other player in the NFL playing football at a higher level than Josh Allen. He should have locked in the MVP at the last night's performance. I don't care what else he do for the rest of the year.
I'm going to see if Chanel can look up and see if any team actually got any sacks that game. Here we go. Do I believe Josh Allen proved that he's the MVP in that game? I was impressed by just how explosive that offense was, how competitive they was all throughout the game. They match. I'm talking, he made some passes where you're like, that scramble, throw the ball downfield. Oh my gosh, like that neither defense existed basically to me. I don't care what nobody said. There was the defense was there, but they was just there shaking people's hands and kissing babies.
Damn.
They were not. I didn't see any explosive plays from them. I didn't see any game-changing plays from them. It just my one flash play here or there but really wasn't. For the Bills and Rams. But when I look at how that game played out and how I look at the Rams coming away with the victory, there's no way that I can give Josh Allen the MVP based upon that game, because you can't get credit for losses, because the way that they're doing Joe Burrow, who's actually having a better season than Josh Allen.
Wow.
He's threw for more yards and he's thrown for more touchdowns. Josh Allen probably got about 20-something touchdowns. Joe Burrow has 30+. So his rating, Joe Burrow's rating is higher, I believe. So I can't give Josh Allen the MVP based upon that performance as a loser, while I'm over here critiquing and taking away the MVP status for Joe Burrow, whose stats are remarkable. He's throwing 4 touchdowns and losing. He'll throw 5 touchdown games and lose. And we're saying he's not an MVP. So you cannot
he got a losing record. It's one thing you lose
cannot secure an MVP in a losing game. Now
with a losing record, you mean?
No.
Yes, no, you cannot secure or even be in a conversation of MVP with a losing record. But
because we use stats to validate it. His stats weren't good enough to win that game.
Oh no, his stats was good enough to win the game. It's just that he ran out of time.
So thank you. His stats was good enough to win the game. That's the same argument with Joe Burrow. As a matter of fact, his stats are better. This is a NFL record for as many games as he's lost with the amount of points that he's scored in a loss. For a quarterback, he's broken a record. It took so many points to actually beat him. They broke an NFL record. So think about that. In the history of the NFL, for them to beat that man, Joe Burrow, it had to be an NFL record for points put up in a loss. Regardless. An NFL record, sir. So if you're not going to give credit for people that lose, even though they play great in losses, you cannot secure an MVP in a game in which you lose. It's inconsistent.
It is not inconsistent because he has a winning record.
Yeah, but I asked you, did he secure the MVP in that game? The answer should have been no.
Absolutely not. No, you're wrong. You 100% wrong. Because listen, the way that he's been playing throughout the whole year is summed up to this game as well. Sometimes you run out of goddamn.
But you're using the stats from a lost game to pile on to stats.
Exactly. So he also
so we can use losing stats to identify somebody should be an MVP,
but not losing records.
Yes, but the problem is
that's my issue.
If we were to take all of the stats and make everybody a blank record, 17-0 or 0-17, who would have the best stats? It would be Joe Burrow.
Right, if he had a winning record with it.
No. If you judge everybody fairly and said just based upon your performance when you're on the field, whether your team won every game or lost every game, who has the better numbers? It's Joe Burrow.
Right, numbers wise, we could agree with that. But
MVP,
if you're not the most valuable player, so I mean that you
there's no metric there's no way to determine what that actually means.
Oh, yes, it is. It means that you are the most valuable player on your team.
That's right.
And it has to be a winning.
Okay, does he have the best record in the NFL?
No.
So what I'm saying is I've thought about this. The criteria does not add up. You cannot utilize his stats in losses to justify him being the MVP if you're not going to utilize Josh Burrow's stats in losses to justify him being an MVP. Because one can argue the fact that he broken a record for it took these many points for him to lose a game, which is an NFL record, which means nobody has had to experience this before him. He broke the record. Wow. There's no way you could that exactly right. There's no way you can justify giving credit to somebody else in a loss.
Well, so my problem is this. I hear what you're saying. It's a decent argument. It ain't a good argument, but it is decent. But at the end of the day, since he has a winning record behind these numbers, and it's going to show how well he's been playing out of his mind this year. He's playing better than any other quarterback this year that has a winning record. There's no quarterback at this moment now playing better than him. At one point, I had Patrick Mahomes above him, but guess what? No. Josh Allen, he's doing more with less, and therefore he has to be on the top of the mountain of the quarterbacks. He's running, he's passing, he's not turning the ball over. He does not have any top receivers. Guess what? What's that man that you just said, Joe Burrow? I believe he got one of the greatest receivers in the NFL today.
That's true.
One of the greatest, and we cannot say the same for Josh Allen. He does
have Amari Cooper. You can have one of the greatest receivers and can't get him the ball.
Exactly, and that's
Odell Beckham in his prime. If you can't get him the ball, you can't get him the ball, Daniel. So just claiming somebody has one of the reason why we think he's one of the greatest receivers is because the quarterback makes him look like so. Think about that. We got AJ Brown.
Right.
How good is his numbers?
Not too good. That's
okay, but is he one of the best?
He's crying now, which we should probably talk about later. He's a goddamn crybaby. He crying to you. Like I told you, Jalen Hurts ain't doing what he's supposed to be doing. But before we get into that, we're going to maintain on Josh Allen. However, he is doing way more than other quarterbacks that have way more expensive tools around them. He's doing way more with plastic spoons. Come on.
So Josh Allen has 23 touchdowns on the year. Okay?
Beautiful.
Jared Goff has 25 passing touchdowns.
He ain't played nobody, but yes.
Sam Darnold has 28 touchdowns. Lamar Jackson has 29 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Bump. So there are teams with a winning record that have a higher passing percentage than Josh Allen and more touchdowns and less interceptions than he does. So when you sit here and make these claims that he's the only quarterback with a winning record with these numbers, it's inaccurate and wrong. And this is why I'm this part of the show, so I can carry your back and make you look worse than you actually are because you're going up against the greatest. That's the problem.
First of all, that dude over there that's playing at one point at MVP caliber,
Jared Goff.
No, not him. Please stop. The Ravens. What's that boy name?
What's his name? Mr. Don't know nothing about football.
I believe I forgot.
You got a brain freeze, huh?
Yeah, I had a brain freeze. I can't believe I forgot his name.
I'll help
Jackson
you.
Was
Lamar Jackson.
MVP caliber.
He played college at Louisville.
However, he got too many losses to teams that he, as an MVP with Derrick Henry, another MVP candidate on his team, and they are losing teams. Josh Allen doesn't have another MVP caliber.
Sir, they have a winning record.
What I'm saying is, it's 2 MVPs on one team, and he cannot get it done. Josh Allen is by himself getting it done.
Pathetic.
This is insane.
Josh Allen is not by himself. Nobody can be by themselves and put those numbers up, son.
I don't see nobody else on the damn field.
Okay, let me ask you this. Does Josh Allen have better receivers than Lamar Jackson?
No, Josh Allen does not.
Oh, my gosh. You sound crazy.
He does not.
You don't know what you're talking about. You're embarrassing. This is embarrassing.
Absolutely not.
Literally, Amari Cooper was a perennial Pro Bowl.
Is the key word.
Because he went to a team like the Browns that couldn't get him the ball. When he was in Dallas, he was going to the Pro Bowl.
He ain't that.
I'm sick of you.
He ain't better than Zay Flowers right now. Stop. Zay Flowers is cooking Amari right now. Stop it. Zay Flowers. Yes, Zay Flowers. Exactly. Not even a top receiver is better than Amari's numbers right now. Stop it. Amari Cooper he's not what he used to be. He still has the name and he still got the threat of a name, but on that damn field, is Josh Allen. That's the number we calling. You crazy. Are you crazy, Lamar Jackson? This is why you're called Aaron 0-4, and I am Best Take Bracey. This is why we have the show, and it shows the difference. I don't speak off of emotion.
You're missing the point, okay? Even if you don't like Lamar, right? What's the other receiver?
Andrews. He got Andrews over there as well. Andrews is great, phenomenal.
No, Shakir is the name, and you know that.
You talking about Lamar Jackson? He got Andrews over there as well. Andrews is great. One of the best tight ends in the league. Top notch.
Yeah,
and he got one of the best.
All right, here you go. So Zay Flowers has 60 catches, 863 yards with 4 touchdowns. Beautiful. Shakir has 65 catches, 735 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
Whoa.
That's not a big separation, sir. 1 touchdown and 100 and something yards is not a huge difference, sir.
I don't understand what's your argument. That just goes to show
that the Baltimore Ravens don't have better receivers. That's my argument. You try to sit up here and make an argument that the Baltimore Ravens receivers are better than the Bills, and you cannot prove that.
Absolutely.
You cannot.
Who is Zay? Because first of all, I was comparing Zay Flowers to Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper is supposed to be the top dog.
No, that's not. He's not supposed to be the top dog. He doesn't have to be. No.
My fault. It ain't my fault that Josh Allen is so good that him seeing the vision that he has, he just turned a young kid, into a star because of his arm. He got that cannon.
The argument can be made for Zay Flowers. You're not a genius. Go listen to the same argument you making for Shakir is the same argument for Zay Flowers. Who is he? What? Oh, the quarterback making him look good.
What I'm saying is that
you on that BS,
Amari Cooper. That's what I'm saying. I think you got cooked on this one at 100%. Best Take Bracey is at it again.
No, you decided to pick Amari Cooper to make your argument. I have no problem with that because when Amari Cooper is on the field, he's one of the best route runners in the league. You can ask any pundit; they will tell you that. Point blank period. He's one of the best pure route runners that they have ever seen in the league. Ever.
Yeah, so it's also Cinco, but it doesn't matter because he ain't.
No, it absolutely does matter because the way
he ain't catching nothing right now. He can't even catch his damn.
So so how does he put those numbers up if a starting receiver is not catching the ball and not doing anything outside when he's injured because he has been injured?
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. So the whole point is
definitely solidified.
You have not proved that the Bills have a worse receiving core than Baltimore. You have not.
They absolutely do. They don't have They don't have no stars over there. He's literally creating stars.
Lamar Jackson is creating stars.
No, absolutely. Andrews is an absolute.
Let me ask you this: how many Pro Bowls does the receivers for the Ravens have compared to the Bills?
I have no idea.
Yeah, you don't want to take that battle. So that's the point. You don't know. So you might want to sit down, player. Sit down, because trust me, that's not the case. I am not giving no MVP in a losing case if we're not going to do the same count for Josh Bro. You're going to have to make different metrics. Now, is it impressive what he's done? Yes. As a football player standalone, absolutely. But I'm not giving you no MVP in a losing feat while destroying somebody else for losing all year by losing by record situations. I'm not going to do it. It's inconsistent. Now, the next question, I wish somebody would mute you. The next question is this. Do you believe the Rams put forth a showcase that they can compete with any team at any time, and they are, in fact, with the opportunity, a team that you believe can contend?
Their offense is absolutely star power. It is phenomenal, and they can go in a shootout with anybody. However, their defense is where they are not contenders. They are not going to be able to compete with these other teams' offense. And the only way they can do it is they have another lights out game like this, and they just shoot it out and they just get a chance to beat the clock and beat a team. But I think their defense is not going to allow them to actually, in my mind, be contenders. They need a better defense, and because we know the defense is what's going to win the Super Bowl for them. You cannot just have a shootout, because if you just have a shootout, that just means the person who gets the ball last wins the game pretty much. And I would not want to put my Super Bowl aspirations or playoff aspirations on every game being a shootout. Any little play, a fumble, a turnover, an interception, a tap ball, all these little things, it will just turn the game around for them, and they get behind and it just wouldn't work. So no, I cannot call them serious contenders. However, they are very entertaining to watch. And if they do meet somebody in their playoffs, they better be afraid and they better pay attention, because Matthew Stafford is not afraid to shoot out with anybody. And he got the arm for it and he got the confidence for it. But their defense is not up to par to be real contenders.
Do you believe that the Bills defense is good enough to be contenders? Because they just put up like 400 plus yards of total offense on the Bills defense.
Shit. That's a very good rebuttal. Because I absolutely believe the Bills are contenders. On most nights, I believe the Bills coach is a little bit more defensive minded than Sean McVay. And so I want to say that, yes.
The Bills coach? Which coach?
I forget his name. I forget his name. But the Bills coach. I believe his name is Sean McDermott.
Where does he come from? I'm very familiar with Sean McDermott.
Is that his name? Oh, so I got his name right. So please,
I don't care if you got his name right, and I know why you got his name right. I'm glad you got a computer in front of you. The point is, you don't know where he comes from, where he's ran defenses at, and anything like that. But I do. But that's okay, right?
We also got somebody for you that's going to really tell you how best take Bracey I am, how good and great I am. Welcome to the show, Bad Take Blanco TV.
Yeah, nigga.
Mr. Blanco TV, this is a kid-friendly show. Please use your mature voice, sir.
Yes, sir. I got you. How you doing?
Good day, sir. How you feeling today?
You was just in the middle of me cooking up Sharon Bracey on this Bills and Rams game. I appreciate you being here. You know, we always enjoy your takes. Bracey believes that Josh Allen can secure an MVP in a losing feat, while we sit here and excoriate Joe Burrow for losing feats with record-taking losses, right? Which is the same criteria argumentatively. And he believes that the Bills, wide receivers, are worse than the Ravens, which I don't know how he can actually prove that. Nobody knows those Ravens receivers like that. Just like you can argue about the Bills. I think if anything, they're a wash, but it's not substantially this or that. And he believes it is because he just be making stuff up. And his argument is the Bills have a better defense than the Rams, and the Rams cannot be serious contenders because you can't trust their defense. The same defense that he does trust is the Bills, who just got put up 400 plus yards on, but he believes it was a fluke, and that Sean McDermott, who is a little bit more defensive minded than the Rams coach. I don't remember the Rams coach name either, since we forget names.
Sean McVay.
Oh, that's how
Mr. McVay. Yeah, Champ McVay is known for being a good play caller, so he's in the offensive things of the ball. The offensive he's pretty much like offensive coordinator, pretty much. That's what he does best. The guy from the Bills, he's supposed to be a defensive mind guy, and I keep telling you guys, he will not be the coach this year. I'm willing to put up money for this one.
Before you get into that bad take,
I just covering the Bills game. I do want to give you y'all predictions. The people that selected the Bills to win the game with the Rams was Bad Take Bracey and Papi Blanco. The person that picked the Rams to win was guess who? Your boy Aaron O. Ain't that
bullshit?
Hey, I'm just telling you, I got our picks here. I'm just telling you what happened, sir. Because Mr. Bracey, that's Mr. 1-5. Yeah, he just took a big L.
So what was my record, please? So since
we're not getting there, we're going game by game. This is the first game we cut on.
Because I look at the schedule, I was like around. I did good. I only got 2 wrong.
And we'll get into those other matchups later. Right now, we're finishing off the Bills. What about that Rams game? Did you learn about the Bills or the Rams?
I learned that I expected Josh Allen to have a monster game. I could have sworn I say that. Like he was he was hot. He is hot. His defense just let him down, bro. Because at one point he was down 18 points, 17 points, something like that.
Right.
And he came all the way up, bro. But man, y'all were saying something about like the game was like a fluke that his defense giving all the no, that defense can be got. That defense can be got, bro. The secondary is not that good. Josh Allen, he kind of put himself in the MVP conversation with his man. He was already in there. But I think this is pretty much your boy.
Say it.
Aaron, oh boy, yeah. My ex-boy, actually. You know what I mean? Thanks to us, you got it running back. So you even when y'all win, y'all still got it. You know what I mean? You get our leftovers.
Hey, so Block, you saying that right now you edge the MVP to Josh Allen?
If the season's over tonight, Saquon Barkley got the MVP.
God damn it! Dun, 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 dun.
Because you got to look at it like this, bro. The MVP is about storyline and record, right? Of course, your numbers. You're gonna have all three of them, right? You're going to have the storyline. He was pretty much kind of like in the dead waters in New York, right? Like if he wouldn't done good this season with the Eagles, it's a good chance he would have got released, bro. Like it's a good chance, right? Because they wouldn't say, "Oh, he already burned out." You know, running backs only do good the first 4 or 5 years, right? Yeah. So he switched things, right? So he's having a monster season. What is the record now? 11 and 2, right?
2. Y'all got 2 losses.
So that means it might be 10 and 2.
10 and,
no, it can't be.
You sure?
Yeah, because we had a bye week. Everybody else didn't have a bye, I don't think. I don't know on the top of my head.
Yeah, they do. They did have the easiest record. I mean, the easiest schedule in the NFL. So that's kind of why they actually.
So they are 1 game away from the number 1 seed. Some way, somehow, they can get to the Detroit Lions and become the number 1 seed, hands down. Saquon Barkley. You got on this. He also got a big. Don't get it twisted. Josh Allen got a big name, but Saquon Barkley since college, he had a big name, bro. You see what I'm saying? So he come with the fame. He got the storyline. The Eagles is a pretty good franchise. Yeah.
So you don't believe at all after Josh Allen throwing 3 touchdowns and then rushing for 3 touchdowns, no turnovers last night. He is a front runner for MVP.
He's in my top 3. I say that.
Okay, but
I got him second right now. But I got him second. I got Saquon first. Josh Allen second.
Guys, stay on task.
Yeah, my bad. Go ahead, boss. Sorry, go ahead.
Hit him. No, it's okay. Now that I clinked up Mr. Bracey and he got beat down in the first segment of the first game he chose to lose, embarrassing himself like this, because everybody knows a trap game is a trap game. And I called the trap games because I know how to identify trap games. I want to get into another game, okay? Vikings and Falcons, okay? Remember, we actually all called that game for the Vikings, every single last one of us, because we all knew better, okay? Now, we all got the score wrong, but that's not important because if anybody can guess the score, we already be all rich, and we wouldn't be having this conversation on the stream like that. Let's just be honest. But in that game, the pointer that I stated was the quarterbacks are going to determine that game. And your boy, remember the quarterback that I told you that the Jets need to let go so that the Vikings can resurge their career like the Vikings do with any quarterback that come to town? They make them all competitive. Every single last one of them, okay? Did you guys see the game, and what were your thoughts, Vikings-Falcons?
Go ahead, Blanco. You go first. If you have seen it.
I predict Kirk Cousins to have a good game. He threw for a lot of yards, but he also threw for 2 interceptions. So that was not good. That game was like that game was like pretty much over from the beginning, bro. Yeah, so it was out of hand. Sam Darnold, he had a monster game. If I'm not mistaken, he threw 5 touchdowns. For like 3 bills. He threw for like 300
Remember,
yards.
You're talking about Sam Darnold, the quarterback that the Jets could have had. Continue on.
Yeah, but you know the bum-ass Jets, they are like kind of like in the same lane as the Browns. That's a quarterback graveyard pretty much. Whatever quarterback you get over there, it's over for him. Yo, shout out to Mark Sanchez.
That's where your careers go to die in New York. I believe with that. My question to you after seeing now, mind you, the Vikings, I think they only got like 2 losses on the season, 2 or 3 at the most. They're clearly
11-2.
Yeah, okay, so I thought so. They're clearly going to the playoffs. My question to you is this. I wrote it down to make sure I keep track of everything. My question to y'all is, has Sam Darnold earned his money and his future to be the starting quarterback of the Vikings?
Whew.
That's rough because if I'm not mistaken, actually I am right. The Vikings actually drafted a quarterback in the first round.
Absolutely.
He happens to get hurt, right? Mm-hmm. What Sam Darnold have done is he has used the Vikings for a great audition for other teams. His future is not going to be. He's going to have a future in the league. He's just not going to be with the Vikings unless the head coach fall in love with him. That's the only way he stay there, because usually when you draft a quarterback in the first round, you're gonna play. He's gonna play next year for sure. They're gonna make it a quote unquote open competition. Most likely the first round. It's gonna be between the first round guy, I forgot his name, and Sam Darnold. And if it is even, they're gonna go with the rookie because of the money thing.
So are you saying that they should pay Sam Darnold or they should not?
I'm saying they're not going to pay him. Sam Darnold going to play somewhere else. That would be my guess. And even though he having a great year, but that's usually how the history goes when it comes to stuff like this. It happened to Alex Smith. Remember, Alex Smith had a monster year, but guess what? We have Patrick Mahomes waiting in the wings. Get the fuck up out of here. I mean, get the hell out of here.
Wow, that is what's your thought, Aaron? Oh, you think that? I think Sam Darnold absolutely is going to make the Vikings have a very difficult decision. He's playing out of his mind. He definitely resurrected his career, and he's going to be a good bargaining chip. If they trying to get some other pieces, maybe a better running back or somebody on the defense, and they could trade for it, Sam Darnold, I think he proved himself to be a valuable piece to possibly go into the trade. But I guess it really depends on how bad this injury is. Clearly, the injury is pretty bad because he's out for the year. And they'll have to see. If I was Sam Darnold, I would definitely push forward because they got Daniel Jones for a reason. They want him to be a backup for a reason. I don't know why they paid Daniel Jones. So they actually looking for quarterbacks for some reason. So I would absolutely, if I was Sam Darnold, push the envelope and try to get paid. And I think he made a great he put himself in a great position to get paid. If I was the Vikings, I would have to pay the man, especially if they get to the playoffs.
This is a really, really tough one for me because what I know about the Vikings and their ability to make quarterbacks look better than average is a problem, right? Because who was the starting quarterback of the Vikings last year?
Dante Culpepper. I don't know.
Papi Blanco knows who it was. That's why I talked.
The quarterback of the Vikings last year. Hold on, let me think. God damn it, I cannot remember his name, bro. So go ahead and give it.
He plays for the Falcons now.
Kirk Cousins. Yeah, there you go. But actually, I could have sworn he got hurt last year.
It don't matter. That's not the point.
Okay, yeah.
So the point is this: he ain't looking so good in Atlanta, is he?
Goddamn.
He started the season real good and just the wheel fall off.
And I think because the Vikings make regular quarterbacks look better than they are. They simplify the game, they secure them, they put them around great coaches, a competitive defense. Every single year the Vikings defense is competitive. I don't know if y'all have noticed that. They never really got the worst defense the way that these other teams be flashing out the worst defense. They always come in and compete. And because my knowledge of just how the average quarterback can look really, really good in the Vikings systems. It terrifies me to commit $200+ million to a quarterback that was he a number one pick?
Yes.
Was he okay? So
yeah, he was first round out of USC.
Yes, I know. I don't know if he was number one overall. That's why I asked that. I definitely know he was a first rounder. I just don't know if he was top, like the number one pick. He might have been top 5. But anyway,
it was top 5 for sure. I cannot go far as number 1. But
I don't remember.
That quarterback class was pretty trash, so it's a good chance he was, bro.
It is a lot of trash. But the point being is this: I could not give him that type of money. But the problem is, I couldn't sit him either. I couldn't sit him for the other quarterback that they drafted. Don't make no sense. There's no way you know that guy that they drafted is going to be any good at all. And definitely he's outplaying that guy who potentially could play. Now, unless you think that guy's going to play spectacular, you can't sit him. It's, you know what I mean? 11 wins in one of the most competitive leagues because injuries happen every single year to a team that got a chance to win it all. So because of that, I wouldn't pay him, but I would not be upset at them if they felt they needed to, because they just can't prove that the guy behind him is going to be able to do what he's done so far. By
the way, the Vikings defense is ranked 12 this year. Buffalo Bills is 11, just to let you know.
Yeah, I know their rankings. So the point being is very simple. I think they might be forced to pay them. I genuinely believe they might be forced to pay him. I don't think he's going to get top 5 money or something like that, but I think he's going to get some bread. I absolutely think he's going to get paid, especially if he finishes off this season strong and just average 1 to 2 touchdowns, let the running back do their thing, and then let the defense kind of make plays here and there. I think he's going to be in line for some money. If he's still a playoff victory, it's
my God.
If he's still a playoff victory, they going to have to mess around and pay the kid. You see what I'm saying? So
and don't let you win 2 playoff games.
It's a very, very tough decision. I believe he's earned the starting role, but I don't know if I believe he's earned market value quarterback money. Just because I think he gets a premium for playing in their system. How the game goes, though, if it plays out that way and he gets close to winning a playoff game, even if he loses, but it's 3 points, and you know what I mean, something like that. Yeah, they're gonna have to pay the kid.
Don't let him win 2 playoff games. Don't let him win 2 playoff games. It's a wrap.
He might get a guaranteed contract. So yeah, I mean, like I said, they're a competitive team, but that's where I see them at right now. I'm glad he's able to have a career and he's playing for someone. He wakes up in the morning and people are inspired, because it looked like he was a no good quarterback coming out of college when he played for the Jets, which we know is a falsehood. When you go to a franchise that has great leadership, you tend to look better and you tend to look like the person that they perceive you to be when they drafted you. If you get drafted to the Jets and you're in a quarterback position, they will destroy your career.
Damn.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It is what it is, my friend. It just is what it is. I'm sorry. I'm not happy about it, but it's the truth. Okay, now I want to jump real quick to the San Francisco 49ers. San Francisco 49ers destroyed the Chicago Bears. Brock Purdy played out of his mind. It was one of his best games all year. He's basically coming back from injury. You know, he was struggling with injuries in and out on the offensive line. Their offensive lineman is out. The receivers is out. They've been struggling with a lot of injuries that they hadn't struggled with so much in the past. You know, their linebackers injured. McCaffrey's not having the MVP season he had prior. The guys that they rotate in is playing well, but the numbers look well, but the impact is not the same. My question to you is, if you just look at the numbers and you just look at what he's done in the past, actually getting to a Super Bowl, the stuff that other people aspire to do, getting to multiple NFC championship games, has Brock Purdy proved that give me my money? Give me my money. There's no guarantee anybody's going to win a Super Bowl. Only one person wins a year anyway. So unless y'all going to strip everybody else of their money because they ain't won the big game, my question to you is Brock Purdy telling y'all, give me my money, and he's earned his money in your eyes? What are your thoughts, Papi Blanco? I'll go to you.
You got to understand this, man. I mean, to answer your question straight out, yes, right? You got to understand this, man was like a 6th round, like literally almost the last pick, Mr. Irrelevant. That's how they call it, right? Mr. Irrelevant, right?
I wouldn't call that man that, but y'all might.
That's his nickname.
That's what usually they call the last pick in the draft.
It is
Yes,
a hard
I agree.
nickname,
I agree.
but
I think
it's
once you get
his
drafted, you're
nonetheless.
drafted.
Broncos
However,
100% right. That's his name.
However, do he deserve, because now the going rate on a quarterback, because it's not about the no. I mean, the numbers play a part. It's all about who's up for the contract, right? So they're gonna bring up the number. This is what I have done for the past 3 years. However many years this man has been starting.
Correct.
He got like a bunch of playoff wins. Huh? This is his third year starting, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so this is a contract year. This is 4th year.
Yes, but since he's a rookie, they probably can exercise the 5th year. But
$375 a year, Blanco.
Yes, so this was going. If I'm Mr. John Lynch, right, the great John Lynch, who he runs the show over there in San Francisco, I would come to Brock as soon as the season is over, whenever that is, and be like, "Look, bro, listen, man, we got a good thing going over here, but make no mistake about it, bro. What was Kyle Shanahan make you look? He make you look good. The system is tailor made for you." You don't got a strong arm like that. So we surrounded you with monsters, right? We got 2 great wide receivers, a future Hall of Fame tight end. You see, we run the West Coast offense to perfection, right? So we kind of hide you a whole lot. We kind of hide you a lot, right? If we pay you $50-something million, I'm not going up 50 million with you, bro. How about 45? How about 40, man? You're only making 307. You're only making 400,000, family. That's I know you up, but listen. If I give you $55 million per year, I'm gonna have to trade Deebo Samuel somewhere. I'm gonna have to let Kittles go. Do you want that?
All right, okay. Fair enough. What you got, Sharon?
Hey, listen. Just like I said the first time when we had this conversation, when you said it's time to look past Brock, I'm on the Brock train. He needs to get paid his goddamn money. He's been proven that he is a top 10 quarterback in the league right now. He's been proving that for the past 3 years. He's done better than a lot of other quarterbacks. Deebo Samuels is not holding up to par this year at all. That offensive line is not holding up for him at all. CMC is not playing well for them at all. Kittle's a Hall of Fame tight end. He hasn't been playing enough to be the Kerry Kills that we know at all. He's been playing Asuka's. We don't even know where he's been at because he's been injured damn near the whole year. That you don't have to pay that man. He's been keeping y'all Mr. Irrelevant, kept the San Francisco 49ers relevant at the end of the day. You're going to have to pay the man, maybe not the 200 mils, but you're going to have to pay that man handsomely. He's been doing it for your team. He's been loyal to your team for the past 4 years. Pay that man. He proved himself. Pay the man. Aaron, what you say about your Golden State 49ers now? Do they have to pay the man? Do you change your remedial rhetoric?
I believe that in the past, I would be like, yeah, they just got to pay him because that's what they do in this league. But I want to say Daniel Jones changed the trajectory of everything in this league. When a quarterback that got paid as much as Daniel Jones, he's the first ever quarterback I've ever seen that got cut in the middle of the season after getting paid that kind of money. Even when the Indianapolis Colts had to let Peyton Manning go, it was because a season-ending neck injury that was potentially career-ending. And they had no idea what they were going to get, and they had a guy like Andrew Luck on the uprising. That was a very difficult decision for them, but that was within a reasonable situation. You see what I'm saying? It was injury involved with the kind of money he was going to be scheduled to make and why they make that decision. Daniel Jones had no injury involved at all, and they cut him in the middle of the season. Not bench him, cut him in the middle of the season and said, whatever that cap is, it is what it is. So I believe that changed the game for these people realizing they're making mistakes by giving these quarterbacks this money. If you're not the quarterback that is going to will me the victory without everything being perfect, I can't give you that kind of money. I can't give you, hey, just give us Patrick Mahomes and lead us the way. I can't give you that kind of money. You're not that. I got to give you if everything is going right, you good money. But I can't give you the top 5, top 7, top 8 quarterback money. I cannot do
Aaron,
it.
what number are you comfortable
he's playing
with?
as a top 10 quarterback.
Yeah, I don't care. And so this is my point. If that's good enough for your franchise, where hey, just winning some games and losing, if that's what your expectation is, because he's not the guy that you believe is worth 500. If he's not worth 500 million like Patrick Mahomes, right? Because you believe Patrick Mahomes is worth it because he'll win you a Super Bowl, right? Then that means you don't believe that quarterback you have can win you the Super Bowl, right? Because you don't want to give him 500 million. Because if you thought he could win you the Super Bowl, you give him 500 million. Okay, that's logic, right? So if you understand that, it's like we could win with him. It's just he might not be the biggest reason we win. You can't give him that kind of money. And that's my argument against it.
But the problem is what you're saying is not true.
Go ahead.
Because he don't have his star receiver, Asuk. He doesn't have his star tight end, Kittles. He does not have his
Kittles is playing.
Barely.
No, Kittles has been killing the last few games.
Yeah, he's been killing
killing when he's.
I know you don't watch football, so just when I say something,
as many games as he's played is as many games as he sat out. Let's stop. And also, CMC, he hasn't been playing this year neither. So he's been
gone for the year, so obviously he ain't gonna be there.
Right. Yeah. So his 3 top weapons, and Debo has not been playing good at all this year. So his 4 top weapons have not been playing well for him. He's the only reason why they even in the playoff conversation right now.
And that's why. Hold on, let me get him, bro. Let me get him because he just killed his whole argument, bro.
Yes, he did.
And
he don't even realize.
That's why you cannot get that man, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, the top guy getting about 60, which is Dak Prescott. And look what that's got in him. And the second guy is like, I think Joe Burrow's in there, but hey, I ain't gonna lie, I pay Joe Burrow. He's that guy. Right? So look, my point is this is where you messed up, Sharon, right? When you are the top monster, a apex predator of quarterbacks, right? You have to win when you don't got no weapons. AKA Patrick Mahomes. How he did it? He did it with a bunch of bums last year, bro. They got the most drop passes. They couldn't get no separation. They didn't have no number 1 receiver. But guess what? He got paid the big bucks, and he made it happen. He made magic happen. When you pay your quarterback $50-something plus million, you pretty much got to figure out how to do it, bro. You got to bring us home. That's why, me personally, I would give him a little 3 years. 3 years, the same Daniel Jones kind of deal. 3 years, around 40-45 million, bro. That's what I would, and that's great for him. But I think this is what I think is going to happen. So don't be surprised.
80, that's 100. So you saying 160 mil?
So I have the contracts in the back, Sharon. You can pull up the image there. I don't know if you can see it, but hold on, Poppy, real quick. I'll read off the top names of the money and what's guaranteed. Okay, Dak Prescott has a $240 million contract, 129 million guaranteed. Joe Burrow, 275. 146 million guaranteed. Jordan Love has a $220 million contract, 100 million guaranteed. Trevor Lawrence, 275, 142 million guaranteed. Tua Tagovailoa, 212 million, 93 million guaranteed. Jared Goff, same contract, 113 million guaranteed. Justin Herbert, 262 million and 133 million guaranteed, etc., etc. So almost every contract is about half the guarantees, except for Deshaun Watson, which is fully guaranteed. Okay. Patrick Mahomes has a $450 million contract, and his fully guarantee is $63 million.
And you know what's great? You know what they do? They do that for the salary cap release. That's why they do it that way, because every year they continue turning his contract into a signing bonus.
I know how they structure his. I'm just telling you, when you look at that kind of money, sir, do you not realize how many people are regretting giving that kind of money?
And you know what's most important, Aaron? No, all those 10 guys combined haven't won a Super Bowl. None of them.
They've been to one. Joe Burrow's been to one. Go ahead, Mr. Bad Take Bracey. What is it? What are you getting jumped up in hyphy for?
Because y'all kind of proving my point. Out of all those goddamn quarterbacks, ain't none of them won the Super Bowl besides Patrick. and he's getting only what, 45 million in a year.
That's not the argument. You changing the argument.
But that is the reason why you're gonna have to pay that.
We're not talking about if you have to do anything, because you don't have to do nothing. You can let somebody walk.
No, they can't, because who are they going to get? Because they're not going to get a great pick.
So give them 500 million. See, listen to why your logic doesn't.
500. I'm not saying 500.
Listen, sir. Listen to your logic. If you're saying, hey, they ain't got no choice, give him the money regardless if you believe he can win the championship or not, right? That's what you're saying, right?
No, give him the money because he's a top 10 quarterback.
No,
in the league right now.
Sir, what do you care about a top 10
with the weapons that he has or with the weapons that he don't have? He's a top 10 quarterback right now. Pull up his stats. I'm pretty sure he's a top 10 quarterback.
No, you're missing the point, because I made the argument is when those people got their money, these people are regretting giving the money, is what I'm telling you. See, if you told me like the Jaguars don't regret giving Trevor Lawrence that money, I'd be like, oh, you got it, but they do. And they want out of the contract if they could. And they'd cut him and rather play a rookie. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Daniel Jones, the quarterback for the New York Football Giants, changed the game because they cut him in the middle of the season with $100+ million contract and sent him home. Wouldn't even let him ride the pine. So they are regretting this, and they're realizing we're going to just admit to it instead of making it drag out the rest of the year and paying this man another penny. Shut him down. We losing games, and we better go to a rook and try to win on another rookie contract. And I'm telling you, unless you believe Purdy can win you a Super Bowl, then you're going to have to go back to the draft. Because if you found him 6th round in the draft, you can find another quarterback in the draft. That's the point.
Not. You cannot strike lightning twice. Where did Tom Brady, what did he come out of?
Last round, 6th round.
Okay. So therefore, you're not going to strike another Mr. Irrelevant. You're going to have to play around that kid. And
you don't have to get Mr. Irrelevant. You can draft in the 2nd and 3rd or 4th round, sir.
Right. And they ain't proven to be good neither, because what was Trevor Lawrence?
There we go. Trevor Lawrence was a top 10 pick.
Because guess what? Khalid Williams, he ain't playing like shit
Trevor
this
Lawrence
year
is number one pick.
His name is Caleb, you disrespectful.
God damn it. Caleb Williams, what is he playing better than Brock Purdy this year?
That's not the point.
It is my point.
If they gonna be both fishing together, would you rather pay somebody $150 million or $20 million? If me and you fishing next to each other and we ain't got no championship to celebrate, do you want to feel happier because you paid a man 150 M's and we both fishing and you paid me $15 million? Do you understand that?
What I'm saying is this: I would rather pay Brock Purdy and make it to the goddamn playoffs at least instead of paying.
They not even about to make it to the playoffs. It's so
in the wild card. They in the wild card right now.
That's not no guarantee. That's a sir. Caleb, do you want to be a hoping and a wish?
$1 million a year.
When you pay somebody $200 million, you don't want to be hoping and a wishing you can win a wild card.
Pay him 160.
No, you don't. Yeah. You cannot pay him a number like that, sir. You have to understand. He's either going to get the market money or he's going to leave. He's not about to give you no. All right, I'll take a $50 million discount because I know y'all don't believe in me.
Yes, that's what he's going to have to do. He's going to have to take 160 mil.
Name a quarterback that's done that. Wait. If that was the case, how is Kirk Cousins getting this money? If they was paying quarterbacks less than they probably should get on the market, how are all these other quarterbacks getting market rate and Purdy's better than them, according to you? Yeah, exactly. You don't have no logic in your thinking right now.
Cousins been proven for a long time that he was worth money at one point because he was on a playoff team, especially when he had
so we planned for possibly making the playoffs?
Yes, that's what you paying these people for.
Okay, so like I said, if the goal is to just make the playoffs and it's not that you believe in somebody, the point is I'm gonna try to slow this down.
Ain't none of them believe that they're gonna win a damn Super Bowl. Dallas Cowboys didn't really believe that Dak was going to take them to the Super Bowl.
They absolutely did.
No, he did not.
Let me tell you how I know they did.
That he couldn't
let me tell you how I know they. Let me tell you how I know they did. They had the number one offense in the NFL. They were number.
So this is where you
didn't pay the man.
No football.
They did. They fought not to pay the man because they did not believe in the man.
Listen, bro. The reason why Brock Purdy look good is because of that system. He can be very replaceable the way Kyle Shanahan run that show over there. He make who he make look good over there.
Jimmy G.
The one that used to back up Tom Brady, Garoppolo. He make him look good when he was healthy. He went to the play. We went to the Super Bowl with him, actually. Right?
So did Nick Foles. Who cares?
Nick Foles won the Super Bowl. Don't disrespect.
Yeah, he
Nick
actually
Foles.
won. He actually won.
Nick Foles threw 7 touchdowns in the game. Watch your mouth.
But he's trash. It is what it is.
How is he trash?
You're wrong. For real.
What? Because he couldn't do nothing the next year. That's why they traded him.
No, because they are.
He's the only quarterback that won a Super Bowl, and they got rid of him, and he proved to be exactly
because Carson Wentz came back. That's why. But look, there's okay, Sharon. Let me ask you this: who do you think is the reason why Brock Purdy is being successful? Because of Kyle Shanahan play calling or Brock Purdy talents?
Because of Brock Purdy's eyes, he's able to see the field.
All right, man, you got
it. All right, fellas, we got to move on off of this. I said my piece. Sharon made his bad takes like he normally does. If y'all end up paying Brock Purdy, then that's on y'all. And if you just want to go to the playoffs, it's a lot of quarterbacks that you can put on the team and run the ball down people's throats and put a defense out there and go to the playoffs. All right, let's get to the next topic. All right. What was the other game we had? Okay, I got you. Browns, Steelers. Every one of us picked the Steelers. Nobody picked the Browns. So we all got that game right. The Browns lost to the Steelers in the rematch 27-14. Okay, I made a claim that it was about the defense in holding the team to 14 points. Sounds like the defense. The both of you claim that Russell Wilson would be like the highlight of the game. And I'm going to say Russell Wilson was 15 for 26, 158 yards and 2 touchdowns. Do you believe Russell Wilson was the highlight of the game, Mr. Sharon Bracey?
It's difficult to say highlight with just 158 yards, but he was the person that was needed to watch to see if he could actually score. He did what he needed to do.
He did what he needed to do. Gotcha.
Yeah, so but he was the most important part to make sure that he was able to score. They scored over 21 points. That is the most important part of the team because they was having a real difficult time scoring touchdowns. So
I remember when you made fun of Jalen Hurts for having like 150 passing yards and 2 touchdowns and talking about how he ain't a real quarterback. It's funny watching you make a different claim for another quarterback. If he was white, I'd yell racism, but seeing as I can't do that because they both loud. Yeah, anyway.
They both
inconsistent take Bracey. Here he goes again. What did the Steelers show you in that game?
What they showed me is that it's great coaching. Tomlin's not going to lose to a team twice. They knew that they didn't play down to their competition this time. They took advantage of an easy W, and this time they came up with the victory like how they supposed to. Win the games that you're supposed to win, and that's how you get to the playoffs, and this is how you get deep. Stay injury-free as much as you can, and they're going to make a decent run in the playoffs. They are a dangerous team. Shout out to the Steelers.
Poppy Blanco, what was your takeaway from the Steelers-Browns game?
I only saw the highlights. For what I seen, I mean, what I expected. You know what I mean? The Steelers hard defense. You know what I mean? They always want to play hard defense at the bare minimum. That's what Mike Tomlin does. That's what he does, right? When it comes to the problem with the Steelers is they don't got an offense to actually match up with the powerhouses of the AFC. If they get matched up with the Bills in the playoff, good luck. I don't know about that. You know what I mean? I said that's not a good match for them. Obviously, their kryptonite is the Bengals because every time that Pittsburgh and the Bengals played each other, since they play each other so much, they know each other's game. So Joe Burrow kind of knows. You know what I mean? Joe Burrow pretty much know everything that Mike Tomlin going to throw his way, pretty much, right? Mm-hmm. So that's the Ravens. That's another headache right there because, again, they're too familiar with each other. They play each other twice every year, same division. That's a rivalry that's been going on for at least 20-something years right now. So most likely they're going to match up with them in the playoff. And that's going to be what – and I think the Ravens going to give it to them in the playoff. And I think they're no offense. Their offense is not explosive. That's the only negative I got for the Steelers, and I leave it at that.
Okay, and Renault.
I don't believe the Steelers showed me much, to be honest with you. I have low expectations of the Browns that's missing their starting quarterback. They're playing a backup quarterback. The Browns, they're not really a competitive team. They're not one of the better coached teams. The fact that they lost to the Browns the previous time show that the Steelers don't have the ability to win the games that they need to win, that they should win. And most people should not be losing to a backup quarterback. If you've seen what most teams do when they get to play a backup quarterback, they licking their limbs like they just know they're going to destroy them. The Steelers lost, and then they end up winning because they're a better team. They shouldn't have lost the first place. So they really didn't prove anything to me. Mike Tomlin didn't prove to me that he's a great coach or anything like that. They just beat up a team that they were supposed to beat. Russell Wilson was pedestrian. He's been able to throw the ball on an average or below average team. The team when he should be putting up 5 touchdowns like a Sam Darnold, he ain't even doing that, right? The team where he should be running 250 yards down their throat like the Eagles or the Baltimore Ravens would do, they ain't even doing that.
Did he not just come up a 414-yard game
against the worst defense in the NFL, sir? But even with that, here's the problem, right? It's not consistent. And let me tell you why this is a problem. There is nothing the Steelers do great. See, one thing you need to understand is when you are breaking down a team, Mr. No-Take Bracey, that don't understand football, is you have to find out what your bread and butter is. And the Steelers' bread and butter is not drop back, throw the ball 50 yards, and they can beat you. It's not hand the ball off 50 times, they can beat you. They do no one thing great. So they're winning games by a different strategy every single game. Hey, we need field goals this game. Kick 5 field goals. Hey, it's going to be a low-scoring game. Run for a touchdown. Defense play really, really well here and get some lucky. There's no dominance because it's nothing that they do great. At least the teams that we know what they do great, they do it every single week, almost the same exact time. It's their will versus yours. The Steelers are inconsistent. They don't do any one thing great to me. Even the defense is shaky because it's really not as strong as we think it is, because when it went against the better teams, they pretty much lost to those teams. They pretty much lost to those teams that are better teams. So I did not learn anything. Russell Wilson, to me, is a serviceable quarterback. He's better than average. I believe he throws the deep ball pretty well. He's one of the better. He's always been that way. Always been a much better thrower of the football down the field than the majority of the league. I always liked that about him. I have nothing against him. I'm rooting for his success. But they don't have an elite running back. Their offensive line is good, but it ain't the best. Their defense is on the upper echelons. I will give them that, but their secondary is not official. Their secondary can be had. Mr. Porter out there always getting personal foul calls and pass interference calls, and he always shrugging his shoulders, and he's guarding your number one. He's talented, yes, but he makes a lot of mistakes, and I believe that secondary can be at risk. But I do think they're well coached. I think they have great consistency in that area, but I don't see anything great. Even the defense is really good, but I can't even say great. I'll give the defensive line that. I don't think you're going to be able to really run the ball down their throat, but we'll find out next week when they get tested, okay? So that's my takeaway, Browns and Steelers. I'm not impressed. And anybody in their right mind, nothing should have changed week to week. They ain't proved nothing, but there's a good team beating down on a bad team, okay? Fair enough. Let's get to the next game, okay? Next game on the docket, Eagles and Panthers, okay? Poppy Blanco picked the Eagles. I picked the Eagles, shockingly, I guess. And flip-flop Bracey picked the Panthers to win. And he said Chuba would be the reason for victory, okay? I picked the defense. Poppy Blanco picked Jalen Hurts, okay? There was a $3.1 million bet on the Eagles to secure the victory. That person was able to secure their bag. They secured about $400 and something $1,000 based off on a victory there. The score was 22-16.
I think I guessed that too, right?
You guessed it. The score would be 20-19. But sure, I mean, yeah, I'm not necessarily knocking the guess. But the Eagles were able to secure a touchdown. Let me give you the numbers here, okay? Yeah, Eagles, Jalen Hurts, 14 of 21, 108 yards, passing two. Is you gonna let me finish?
I'm gonna laugh on mute. I'm sorry.
Thank you, sir. Because unless you want to read the stats and make sure the audience has the information, you hold your canty there, sir. Okay, Jalen Hurts, 14 out of 21 passes, 108 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Saquon Barkley, 20 carries, 124 yards. Jalen Hurts also had 8 carries, about 60 yards, and a rushing touchdowns. He had a total of 3 touchdowns on the day. Okay, AJ Brown was the high receiver with 43 yards on 4 catches. Okay, the Panthers threw the ball 34 times. Bryce Young had 191 yards on 34 attempts, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Cooper Hubbard had 26 carries, 92 yards and a touchdowns on a 3.5 yard average. He averaged 3.5 yards a carry, which is nowhere near elite. Adam Thielen was the top catcher there with 9 receptions and 102 yards. Okay. Yes. And those are pretty much the heavy stats on the game. Your takeaway from the game, Sharon Bracey, that you end up getting wrong because your pick was, in fact, the Panthers to win, while me and Poppy Blanco predicted correctly, along with the person that put $3 million on the game to win the game. What were your thoughts, sir?
The easy pick, of course. My thought was that Jalen Hurts was very pedestrian at best. AJ Brown, he was so pedestrian that AJ Brown said it publicly. We need to do something with our offense because Jalen Hurts is not doing it. He is not moving the offense the way how it needs to be. He is tied again, just 43 yards a game. He is one of the best receivers in the league. Jalen Hurts need to figure it out. He need to see the field properly. He has not seen the field properly. And if it wasn't for Saquon Barkley saving the Philadelphia Eagles every single game, every week, they wouldn't even be a relevant team right now. It'd be a whole different conversation because Jalen Hurts be putting up pedestrian numbers all year. He haven't even had a year like Russell Wilson yet. So he is playing very pedestrian. He is not living up to the hype. I don't see if they keep going, they are looking like it's possibly going in a down trajectory if the tension between him and AJ Brown continues. It's not going to be a good look towards the playoffs at all. They need to get it right, and they need to get it right today because the fact that he's putting it out in the public is a problem. Almost lost. They offense was horrible. They barely won. That man was sweating. He thought he was about to lose $3 million. That's what he thought was going to happen. He was very scared. Everybody in Philadelphia was clutching their pearls watching that game. They barely got away with that damn victory.
I watched this game, the whole game actually. I ain't like Jalen Hurts play. But at least the bright part about it was that it was a mistake-free game. So which is great. Like even when you're not playing because I actually picked Jalen Hurts to be like to have a good game to kind of like getting rid of with the offense. I got that wrong. So, but at least he didn't put his defense in a bad position, like on a short field or nothing. So he made the Carolina Panthers to actually. Even when the play wasn't there, he threw an incomplete pass, he threw it away, and he made the Carolina Panthers drive the length of the entire field, which they couldn't do it. You cannot consistently pull 3-4 drives together and catch it in touchdown on the Eagles defense. The Eagles defense, right? I got worried at the end because the Carolina Panthers converting 2 third and longs in the last drive until finally the defense made that actually they made them throw that incomplete pass in the 4th down. Yeah, but at least I didn't like Jalen Hurts play, but at least he didn't put his game. He didn't put his thing in a bad position. And the Carolina Panthers
put your team in a bad position.
And the Carolina Panthers, they just a horrible thing. So the only thing that Jalen Hurts need to do is clean it up because the teams in the playoffs, they will cash in on the they will cash in on when he missed the open receivers. So he need to he still got 3-4 games to clean it up. But that's all I got.
What is going on with your Philadelphia Eagles quarterback? What is going on with him, sir? Why he's pissing off the top receiver in the world? That he's getting called out in the public?
Yeah, that's a good question. I want to read a list for you real quick before I get into my breakdown. This here is a total touchdowns stats, okay? Josh Allen leads the NFL with total touchdowns with 33. Lamar Jackson is second with 32. Baker Mayfield, Joe Burrow are tied with 31.
That's crazy.
Sam Darnold and Jalen Hurts are tied with 29. There is a 4 touchdown difference between Jalen Hurts and Josh Allen of what they've contributed to their teams. 4 touchdown difference. Okay. Now there is a win difference, but 4 touchdown difference, right? So here's the point. The key thing that people need to understand that Jalen Hurts had AJ Brown break a record the last year. He broke an NFL record for receiving yards, 6 straight. So we know that
this year, sir.
I'm getting into the breakdown of this year because people don't know football. So sometimes you got to teach people. You know, in the beginning of the year, the Eagles were struggling, and people's like, "What's going on with the Eagles? We should fire the coach." They've won 8 or 9 straight at this point, right? And here's what you need to understand: there's being effectively a brand new staff brought in on the defensive side and the offensive side. Wow. And what you need to know for real NFL fans, Jalen Hurts already proved he can throw the ball the other year when he was passing yards, passing touchdowns, throwing the ball downfield. Eagles led the league in most explosive passes downfield. So they've already proven that he can do that, right? At worst, they usually are in the top 5 for explosive passes or explosive plays 20, 30 yards downfield. You can look it up. The point of it is this. This year, they have a new coordinator. I don't know what you just did to your screen, but this year, they have a new coordinator. That coordinator is known for coaching the number 1 offense of Dink and Dak. Y'all remember that phrase? It's Dink and Dak because they was dinking and dacking all down the field because they were not passing the ball deep downfield. They were doing little 5-yard routes, very short routes, and they still had the number 1 offense. So in this offense, Jalen Hurts doesn't throw the ball downfield a lot because the offensive coordinator does not design plays that way. They do quick crosses, make people run into each other. It's a brand new offense that he still has to get comfortable with. He's not a normal, natural passer of the football the way traditional quarterbacks are. I'm not taking that away from nobody. But if you look at the coordinator and how he actually coaches, it's consistent with Dink and Dak when he was running the best offense. And that's just the facts. Now, the difference is also this. He's also only had to pass the ball 20 times in a game. How many people are going over 300 yards with 20 passes? Not many. With that being said, your boy Josh Allen took 37 passes to eclipse 300 yards. So if you multiply that, you'll realize, if you extrapolate 14 completions out of 21 passes, so that's only 7 incompletions, you duplicate that and say, well, what if you make 28 completions out of 30-something yards? He'll have 200 and something yards and 4 touchdowns. The point of it is the teams are not able to force him to throw the ball downfield because they are forcing to play the run because they're running the ball down people's throat with the run play action. So it's a unique offense with a coordinator that is historically known for not driving the ball downfield and running slant passes to little pickoffs to get the ball. And anybody that knows football knows Dink and Dak. That is what you're seeing because he's already proven in the past that he can throw to these receivers and they get 90 receptions in a year, 1,000, 1,100, 1,200, 1,300, 1,400 yards. He's already proven that. So it's clearly, and for anybody that has a mind, the coordinator.
You can hear me at least?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what happened with that. I guess I had to refresh maybe.
That's crazy. You might want to hit the refresh button. That's wow.
It's just black on yours. You just see black.
Green. We see. I see green. I don't know what Papi Blanco sees. I see green.
Yeah, I see green too, though.
Yeah, just so I would just refresh your browser. It'll drop you, but then you can bring yourself back up. Because it looks for a better show. It's kind of crazy not being able to see you make this bad take in front of the audience. I don't want nobody to be able to hide behind that. But outside of that, I thought the Eagles defense played extremely well. The only thing I thought they did bad was getting off the field on third down. And that's one of the areas of opportunity offensively. We need to convert more third downs, and we need to get off the field more often on third down. But to be fair, a lot of their conversions was on fourth down, where they were losing by a lot and they had to go for it on fourth. And they got some wild, lucky conversions and extended plays and stuff like that. Stuff that you're going to experience when you are playing against a lot of teams and you're winning consecutively. You're going to have different type of games. I thought the Planters played hard because, they're playing for their pride. And we was basically just trying to get out there without too much of an issue and get to the next game.
Wow. I cannot believe this. You said Russell Wilson had a flip-flop game, pedestrian-like game.
No.
Now you're agreeing with my take that your Philadelphia. This is probably why my screen turned green because I just couldn't believe what was going on.
Because you're wrong.
Philadelphia.
You asked two different questions.
And you saying that the Philadelphia Eagles played down to their competition. That's why they almost lost.
I didn't say that.
What did you? That's what I heard. I don't know what everybody else heard. I heard you say that. No.
This is the game you picked and lost, right? So I see you got your bad take, Bracey, down there. So the point being is, sir, you may not understand coordinators and how they call, but remember, that's what our coordinator does. That's how Dink and Dak got the name. Papi Blanco knows what I'm referring to. That's why he's not objectifying to it. So the point being, you just don't know football. Because if anybody in their right mind saw what Jalen Hurts did the previous year and the previous year before that, it's not an argument if he can throw the ball downfield. It's not.
Yeah. And the crazy part, he got
your star receiver. He thinks differently. Your star receiver thinks differently. Why do your star receiver thinks differently? Please explain.
He got two great because of the designs of the plays. That's why he got two monster receivers. You got Devontae Smith. That man is not a slouch. He can easily be a number one.
Was he missing passes on Sunday? Yes or no?
Yeah, he did miss a couple of passes, but who doesn't?
He was playing horrible. Yes, he played horrible.
I didn't like his play. But what Aaron said, he makes all the sense in the world, yo.
But he been playing horrible this whole year.
Saquon
is bailing him out. So the only reason why he's even looking decent is because of the play action, because Saquon is such a goddamn threat.
How did they win all those games last year before they start losing towards the end of the year? How was they winning last year?
We ain't talking about last year.
Okay, but you're making it seem like
you don't care that Brock Purdy went to the goddamn Super Bowl. You don't care that Brock Purdy won a goddamn playoff game or two.
Because
you don't care about none of that. So we're not going to care about what he did last year. We talking about this year.
To be fair, last year
you can't make hold on, Poppy. You can't refute it. I just read the numbers. It's a 4 touchdown difference from your MVP and him. So you sound crazy trying to make an argument. You sound crazy.
I do not. So
but
yes,
last year
you sound crazy. Sorry,
I'll tell you what went wrong last year. Their defense was not that good. Okay, it's very simple. If you watch the game, it will tell you, man, they were getting roamed over. The people was what was the number 2? Slay, that's his name, cornerback. He was getting burned literally every other play after he got that big old contract, but he was playing like a 7-round pick. You see what I'm saying?
honestly, he wasn't playing that bad. It's just that he gets magnified because everybody else was playing horrible. Like, he actually played decent. He wasn't great, but he was decent in a team that was not playing well, so it's hard. But anyway, the point being is it was a victory. Ding, 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 success, because the goal of it is to win the game. Had we had lost the game, you could have a better argument. But the point of it is they didn't put him in a position where he had to pass the ball. And once again, we ran for dang near. Let me see how many goddamn yards we ran for. Let me see here. 124 plus 60, 180, about 200 plus yards. We ran about 200 plus yards, and we're one of the top 2 teams in the NFL in rushing. That's what we dominate. So we have an identity. So sitting here being shocked that he isn't shocking the world with passes and things like that is ignorance. When we designed this particular offense to be around the run game, and everybody saw it. Okay. So, like, you don't have no argument. You can say he was missing some passes last game as much as you want. However, he did not throw the ball 37 times or 40 times.
Because they read that ball. He was. That's why they didn't keep passing the ball.
It didn't require him to throw that.
That's not horrible, sir.
Your star receiver called him out and like, hey, listen, you got to get me the ball more.
That's what divas do all the time. All receivers are doing.
No. Time out. This is what happened, bro. For anyone that watched the game, it's very simple, bro. Saquon Barkley, if I'm not mistaken, he carried the ball 20 or 21 times? Around 20, right?
24.
Okay, and he got 100.
No, it was 20. I'm sorry, 20 times.
Okay, cool. So I was right. So he got at least 120 yards. That means that's 6 yards a clip. You don't need to throw the ball when you're running that good, bro.
Yeah, also he can't throw that good anymore. Whatever happened to him, they know something that we don't know. He played horrible. That's what happened, Blanco.
Yeah, this nigga.
I just want to let you know, our defense held them. What did they have? Did they have 20 points?
That's nothing to even talk about. Don't talk about holding.
Whoa! That's nothing to talk about.
No, not when they did it to the Carolina Panthers.
The Carolina Panthers are the Carolina Panthers better than the Browns?
Barely.
Kind of the same.
Oh, okay. So we didn't lose and y'all lost. You making arguments about teams you lost to while we beat the team we supposed to beat.
Barely. Okay. You got it for now?
No, because you know why I got it? Because I know what I'm talking about. Because when I gave you the touchdowns responsible, you like, oh, only 4? Let me shut up because there ain't enough to argue about when I'm trying to give the MVP to a guy.
But I tell you this, if they see the Bills in the playoffs, they done.
Yeah, whatever. So let me see here. Next week, the Steelers take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Okay, we're not going to get into the predictions yet. That'll be later on down the line. But I do think that will be quite a revealing game, and we're going to have a lot of fun around that particular game. I think that will showcase a lot of things. Let's get into our last pick of the official picks we did, because we wasn't about to pick every single game. We wasn't about to break down every single game. Yeah. Which was, hold on. 1, 2, 3. There it is. The Chiefs and the Chargers. The Chiefs and the Chargers. Let me pull up the stats for that one because I don't remember exactly what. I watched the game, but I don't remember all the numbers there.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull it up for you. We already know one. Chiefs versus Chargers. Let me get the box score here so I can get the quick breakdown for my audience. Here we go here. All right, Chiefs versus Chargers, okay? The Kansas City Chiefs pulled out the victory 19-17, okay? Justin Herbert was 21 for 30, 213 yards, 1 touchdown, okay? Their top receiver was Joshua Palmer, 6 receptions, 78 yards, okay? Patrick Mahomes was 24 for 37, 210 yards. So, and 1 touchdown, okay? Their top receiver was Travis Kelce with 45 yards. In the running department, Pacheco had 55 yards on 14 carries, while Gus Edwards had 36 yards on 10 carries. Obviously, the Chargers were missing their top back, so that played a factor into the game, okay? As you watch the game play out, the Chiefs were selected to win by Papi Blanco and the great Aaron O. The Chargers were selected 20-16 by Flip Flop Bracey, and that is another L on the official scoreboard of the week. Since you want officiality, okay? I said that the Chiefs would win the game and it would come down to Mahomes' play. Poppy said Kareem Hunt would be the X factor in that game. I can tell you this, he wasn't. And you flip-flop said Herbert would be the reason for the actual Chargers being able to pull it out. It was a phenomenal game if you actually like competition and not all the points being scored, because newbies kind of like that kind of game. I actually love 13-10 games. I love defensive stops where they get on third down and get off the field, and it's just a struggle to take one or two great plays to win the game. I love games like that. So for me, it was exciting. Obviously, the Chiefs got the ball back after the goddamn Chargers scored, and you just kind of already knew what Patrick Mahomes was going to do. They ran every second off that clock. Patrick Mahomes made an amazing pass where he was so patient while letting the play develop to get that crossing route. He threw it at the right moment to pick up the first down, and then that pass to Travis Kelce was burnt. Travis Kelce didn't even want to run. He just sat there until somebody hit him. It's just, those moments where when greatness is greatness, and Patrick Mahomes, the numbers don't make you go, wow, this is the guy that threw 5,000 yards. But the plays that he makes on second down, where you're like, dang, they won't even get a third down if he don't make that extra pass, gain that extra seconds, stay in the pocket, and give his receivers an extra few seconds, because they really not getting open. They're not winning their matchups the way that A.J. Brown is winning, and Jalen Hurts is just not getting him the ball because the way the offense is designed is frustrating, but they'll probably figure it out, and if they don't, they will suffer for that. But I thought that the Chiefs played a masterful game to the point of they played a clean game. Their defense played extremely well. They went up against one of the better coached teams. Also, the Chargers are probably, I wouldn't say they're one of the better defensive teams in the league. So I'll say that. They are one of the
record don't give them that much justice.
Well, that's because
they're better than their record.
I think they are better than their record, but I think the problem is they've only beaten up on the losing team. So let me tell you this. Hey, Jay Ali, what's up? So the difference is this. The Chargers are actually number one in touchdowns allowed. Number one. They allow the least amount of touchdowns in the league. Justin Herbert is number one in least turnovers. He has one interception on the season. He does not turn the ball over. I think he has one interception, Poppy. They don't turn the ball over. But that also tells me he's not as aggressive as he used to be. Justin Herbert used to be a gunslinger. And I remember he used to be slinging that everywhere and go. He's really cleaned that up, but his aggression has went away. So when I'm watching him, I'm like, oh, he's not taking those risky plays, because I do believe those risky plays can cost you, and he's done so much in his past, and he's getting coached up, by the way, because he's playing with some below talent. If you think Patrick Mahomes got some trash receivers, you need to go and look out there with the Chargers got a receiver and see if you know any of their names. If you ever see their name pop up at any receiver list to look at, they are horrible out there.
That's fair.
They are no names. They sent their receivers basically
very similar to Josh Allen.
Not even close. Well, not even close. Yeah. Because not even close, as if you look at the actual talent when the games has been played, clearly the Bills players have the talent to separate from the defenders and make plays. It's not even comparable. Justin Herbert is playing with some of the wackest talent. So my question to you is this. After watching the game, the competition of it, yes, the Chargers lost. I want to ask you a question. Where do you rank Justin Herbert on the list of elite quarterbacks?
So how I have it, I got Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. Right next to Patrick Mahomes, I got to go with Lamar Jackson. And then on my next level, I got Russell Wilson. So I guess I would have to get – that's right. That's right.
It's embarrassing. Joe Burrow is clearly better than Russell Wilson.
Stop it.
You are so irritating.
So right now, I think I haven't watched – I know his stats is great, but I haven't watched him enough, Joe Burrow, this year. I haven't got a chance to watch his games because he just plays in a strange town, and he plays at the same time as my favorite team, so I don't get to actually visible.
You talk about the loser Jets and the loser Giants? You talk about those teams?
Yes. I'm talking about those.
Yeah, gotcha. The teams that's not putting up 30-plus touchdowns. I got you.
Regardless,
I didn't think you lived at what the Dolphins did to you.
So Justin Herbert is on the same level as Joe Burrow, and he got to be on that level, that tier.
Joe Burrow has been to
and we had a pyramid. If we had a pyramid,
Joe Burrow beat Patrick Mahomes to go to the Super Bowl.
And we had a pyramid this year. It's Josh Allen at the top of the pyramid. Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson.
I'm sick of you.
Then we got Russell Wilson. And then on that level of the pyramid, Justin Herbert will be on that level.
Jesus Christ.
That's what he'll be. I knew the game was going to be tight. We kind of all knew that the game was going to be tight. It was a division game. So we kind of knew it was going to be a really tight game. And it came down to the last play. Hey, you know it's going to be an uphill battle for Justin to try to beat Kansas City in Kansas City. I went for the long shot. Hey, sometimes it happens. But it was a great game, a great chess match on the field. It was beautiful. That was the kind of football that real sports players like. So I enjoyed the game.
Yeah, I predicted this game was going to go. If I'm mistaken, I think I predicted it was going to be a field goal, right? By a field goal, and it was by 2 games, so I was like right there.
You had it 24-20.
Okay, yeah, 2 points. Yeah, well, around that area, it was 2 points.
Well, that's the same prediction I gave it to you. Don't get no attitude with me.
Yeah, so. And I picked Kareem Hunt because I didn't know that they were going to activate Pacheco. So I got that wrong. I didn't know he was going to play. Okay. Yo, Patrick Mahomes, man. Yo, this guy reminds me of goddamn Brady, son. I remember when Brady started that crazy run for 20 years in New England, bro. Some way, somehow, they was going to win, fam. Like, a field goal miss.
Always go this way.
Brady could throw 4 interceptions the whole game. All you have to do is put a dryer then. Vinatieri was gonna hit it. Vinatieri was gonna hit a field goal from 75 yards away, and the wind was gonna help it. Yo, this thing is destined to. They are destined
to lose in the Super Bowl.
And you might be right because nobody have never like won back to back. Nobody repeated before. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, so history will be in your favor. And the reason why the downfall for the Chiefs is going to be that offensive line, bro. They cannot protect. They couldn't stop me if they wanted to.
It's crazy.
Patrick Mahomes take 2 steps and he had to shake 2 defensive end just so he can throw it to Kelsey 5-6 yards down. He don't have time for nothing, bro. Look at the pass that he did, the pass that Aaron O was describing. In order for him to get that pass off, he had to like run for his life for like 10 yards just to throw that 5 yards pass to Kelsey.
So
he can set up the field goal.
To be honest, though, I think this works for Patrick Mahomes' legacy. This actually makes people look at him like Brady. Because they're like, dang, he's playing with less talent. And so if he actually wins the Super Bowl, they will start like this. First of all, that'd be a 3-peat, and we've never seen that in our lifetime. Most of us, I think, So
nobody. It's never happened in the NFL in the Super Bowl era.
Technically happened in Green Bay, but they don't count it.
They don't count those in Super Bowl because they're merger. But whatever. The point being is that this will solidify it.
Absolutely.
Solidify it. I don't believe he will be able to do it. I'm hoping he does. I have nothing against
I want to see it too. I want to see it.
I hope he do it against the Philadelphia Eagles, what makes it even sweeter.
That's the problem. Wait. That's the problem. That's the one team he don't want to face because that defensive line against that offensive line is not he needs somebody to knock the Eagles off so he don't have to go against that defensive line. Because I will agree with you. If he runs into a team with a decent defensive line, he's going to win. But if you run into, because the one time he suffered is when he lost against the Bucks, they couldn't protect him. If you go back and watch that game, he did not look like the Patrick Mahomes. The only difference is now I'm worried that he's so much of you don't ever see him out at clubs. You never see this man out and about. All he does is play football. That's one thing people need to understand. When you're looking for greatness, you want to see, was they at the club? Is they in the tabloids? Is they taking pictures, catching them out, eating? No, he's so strategic.
Watching videos.
So when people like that move, right, it tells me this. He knows he struggled with the offensive line in that Super Bowl against the Bucs. So now he goes, even with a bad offensive line, what can I do to win? And so if you see the adjustments he's making, I'm terrified because he's even better than he was then, and the numbers don't prove that. But what you see him do on the field prove that, and that's why you got to watch the games, and everything is not.
You know why, Aaron?
The numbers.
You know why? It's because the game has slowed down for him. I ain't gonna lie to you. I enjoy Patrick Mahomes more before because he was a gunslinger. That's when he was hitting you with 5,000 yards, 45 touchdowns, Tyreek Hill. He had Nicole Hartman. He had the whole track team running, right? Now the game has slowed down for him. So he playing with his head now, like Brady. That's how Brady he was.
You know what's crazy? That's a fair point. You know what's crazy? Yeah. We went away from watching quarterbacks throw for 5,000 yards in 16 games. Multiple quarterbacks, Stafford, Patrick Mahomes, like Breeze, like to not seeing no 5,000-yard passes. People are barely at 3,000 yards at this point in the field, and they have an extra game. And the defense, it's mind blowing to me. I thought for sure.
I mean, we got star quarterbacks only throwing 108 yards.
Yes.
I don't know which quarterback did it, but
yeah. Listen, if they won the game, if you can win a game throwing 108 yards, that is a great.
To be fair,
you know what? Because if Joe Burrow could throw 108 yards and win, he would.
But to be fair, I remember watching an entire game when Tim Tebow completed 3 passes.
Nah, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Nah. Look, every dog has his day. Like, nah.
But I think Patrick Mahomes is absolutely, and Andy as well. Andy is coaching a hell of a year as well, making the in-game adjustments, pulling out games, using the clock. He's just playing out of his mind as well. He is
on a side note, just randomly, since I cooked up every single topic and I'm undefeated, clearly I know what I'm talking about. We starting by where we're starting at, sir. Stop living in the past on with your past success. I want to say this just randomly. The Washington Redskins are playing really well, and part of that reason is because their offensive coordinator who left Kansas City. I really wish the Eagles would have got him. It's really clear just how talented he is by what he has Jaden Daniels out there doing. Like the pass plays that he's designed and all those. He never got to shine because he was under Andy Reid, and Andy Reid calls the plays. Even though he creates, even though he actually helps create everything out there. That's why Andy had him out there. It would have been nice to steal him in Philadelphia, to be honest with you. I do think our coordinator is doing a good job. The problem is that the type of receivers that we have are explosive, and he has dink and dunks. I'm watching the little crossing routes that they do and stuff like that, and I'm like, "Ooh, I sure hope they figure out a way to." I don't know if he's even capable of it. That's part of the reason he had to leave Dallas, because they started having a problem with dinking and dunking. But I mean, he did have a number 1 offense, so I'm concerned that I don't know if he can actually make the right, develop a strategy for the game. But I'll leave that to the head coach to decide. So we'll see. I mean, right now, when you can run the ball like Baltimore did when they won the championship and just play defense, and our defense is not as good as Baltimore's, don't get me wrong, but we're second in the league in touchdowns given up behind the Chargers. Chargers are number 1. We're number 2. So we clearly know how to stop people from getting in the end zone. But I am a little worried about if we have to get into a shootout with a team, that our coordinator can design the game upon that. I don't think it's that Jalen Hurts can't do it. I don't think it's because A.J. Brown can't do it because we proved it. I don't know if he's given the plays in his playbook like that. And I really think that's indicative, because if you actually watch the games, if you watch them, you'll realize that's what they did when they beat the Eagles. They just threw a little drop, like a crossing route, and dropped it, and you ran 50 yards down the field. And I'm seeing that. And last year, what I saw was a lot of holding the ball by Jalen Hurts and him throwing 30 yards down the field for a connect, back pass to A.J. Brown for the touchdown. And I'm not seeing that. So obviously, it's a different team. They're designed to run the ball. They do a lot of RPOs, but it will be interesting. I don't think you have to be able to throw the ball 40 yards and win, because clearly the Bills did it and lost. But if you're able to run the ball, control the clock, and play some of the best defense, which I think the Eagles will be capable of, we'll see, right? But that's just if you want to see Madden type of game. But if you just want to see good old smash mouth football, it is what it is.
Okay. It's fair assessment. That's fair.
Yeah, the offensive coordinator for Washington was Kingsbury. He used to be the coach for the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, I know Cliff Kingsbury. Not just the Cardinals.
He's supposed to be like an offensive coordinator.
Wait, here's a better point, though. Who's the coach of the Cardinals right now?
I forgot his name, bro. He's a young guy.
Where'd he come from?
We have to look at. I have no idea.
Damn.
I'll tell you. He came from the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. He was a defensive coordinator of the Philadelphia Eagles when they won the Super Bowl. His last name is Gannon.
Okay.
We lost all our coordinators. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, we lost everybody. They all got head coaching jobs. So that's the thing. When you win, you lose your team. It was the same exact team that we had going into the next year, and they look horrible. So either he knew how to play call like hell, you know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. So that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Jalen Hurts has had a different coordinator every single goddamn year. Like,
so you wanted
it's crazy.
So you wanted the guy that polished Mahomes. I think his name is Vietnamese, like that.
Yeah, for Redskins. No, I'm saying I would have loved to have him because you can actually see with Jaden Daniels' success. That's the same dang Redskins. I mean, I'm sorry, Washington Commanders that we've always seen.
Be careful.
You know what I mean? The same dang team is just his play calling, his play designs. Right now, obviously the Eagles shut them down with their defense today. Their players wasn't getting off, but he still designed heck of a plays. I was watching the play design and everything, and I'm like, we really could use him. Like, I'm fine with our coordinator now. He's getting the job done, and he's had to rechange because he's actually a passing offensive coordinator. He don't like running. The fact that he redesigned his whole, because that was his whole stick in Dallas. They didn't run the ball enough, and that's why he got fired too. He's actually redesigned it. I'm just concerned a little bit, but it is what it is, you know.
But they looking solid. Besides the last, him and AJ Brown not connecting, they're still looking.
Well, the Steelers will be a great opportunity to see what it is. Is it Jalen Hurts just completely missing, which he obviously was not. He obviously was too quick to run. And I'm gonna tell you this. I think they coach him on just run. It's what you do. Like, I don't even think they're telling him to stay in the pocket as long as he used to do, because they're like, yo, you can just run. You can just run. Because I see him running more than he ever used to run. He used to try to force himself to be a passer in the pocket the way that Lamar Jackson's kind of forcing himself to do, even though he's a phenomenal runner, and that's a bad idea. There's a lot of plays Jackson can run on. He just doesn't do it, which actually hurts him. And I see that with Jalen. I'm like, he runs too much. Even though, like, a lot of his sacks are like design runs that get stuffed, and they're like, oh, that's a sack because it could have been a pass and stuff like that. So
I actually bet, like the thing with Kellen Moore is like he got fired from Dallas, so they can bring McCarthy. I mean, he ain't got fired, but they didn't resign him. They didn't resign him. That's what
my question is, speaking of Dallas, what's the score?
I thought they were like up 27.
You funny, man. You funny.
What's the score?
You funny, bro.
When I haven't looked at it, but I know when I was looking at it, was 2017. Dallas was.
You funny, bro. Nobody watches the Cowboys games anymore. Even Cowboys fans are like, we gonna win the Super Bowl next year, but we got to get a good pick. Like they know it's over. They don't even want Dak no more.
I think it's crazy that that they win in the game. If they are winning the game, oh my God,
they lost. I just look at it. 27.
Look, they listen. They got to compete. They got to look good. But
good luck getting rid of Dak with how much guarantee? I know he said the number. It was a crazy number.
231 is guaranteed.
Jesus Christ. Yo, Dak, I ain't gonna lie. Dak has been a mercenary to contracts.
How do you know 231 is guaranteed? You remember what I said?
What you mean?
230 was the contract.
You looked it up. Okay, I'm like, there's no way your memory is that good.
What you mean? I literally did it right here in real time. He asked and I answered. How do I have time to look it up?
Stop it. You embarrassing.
Because I have a beautiful mind as well. Yes, I heard the information and I remembered it.
Good luck getting out of that press. Good luck.
Because I have a great mind.
Embarrassing, sir.
Yes, that's how good I am. Yes.
Embarrassing, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. 5 and Aaron O. Yeah, Mr. 5 and Aaron O. I like this design. We're gonna pick 5 primetime games every weekend, and we're gonna specifically break those down, select those. Because we're not about to pick 12 games.
You went 5-0?
5-0, my brother.
That's 5-0 this week.
What I got to be at least 41.
Yeah, you 4-1.
Yeah, you because you just copied every pick I did, so of course you did well.
What about your run? What, like 3-2 maybe?
3? Yes.
Yeah.
I got a losing record this year.
If I would have added a 6th game to the prime time, he would have went 500 or worse. So I didn't want to embarrass him. So I gave him some outs.
Hey, but I picked the tough games. I went against the grain. I picked the teams that was
wait. Shut up. You are a liar. Before we end this show, shut up. Before we end this show,
the Carolina Panthers. Come on,
sir, you are embarrassing, sir.
Picks. Come on, Kansas City and the Philadelphia Eagles was 2 easy.
Do you believe in the Eagles? Do you believe in the Eagles
against the Carolina Panthers? Yes.
Oh, okay. So, do you who's your MVP right now?
Josh Allen.
And did they win this week?
They did not.
Okay, and I picked that game against the MVP to lose. Okay, you over there talking about no, sir. You took the easy games. Okay, most people in their right mind would have took the MVP versus a team that's barely getting by.
Wow.
So I think I made the better selection, sir. I'm so sorry that your Eagle got a little bit beside you. You was like, man, those Eagles they look like they might could be a trap game because I was telling you that was the trap game, and you was like, yeah, you.
And they played to it. They played to it.
No. The goal is to win the game. It don't have to look pretty, sir. Not at like we got some pretty games. Did you see what we did? Did you see what we did to those Rams? The same Rams that just beat off your MVP. Did you see what we did to them? Did you go back and look at the box score? It wasn't no lucky run. Like, so what I'm saying is we got some games where we show you we ain't playing. You saw what we did those Redskins that you picked to beat us? You saw what we did to them? Yeah. So my point of
playing next week. I'm gonna pick them too.
Yeah. I hope you do. I hope you do on national hot seat. On the national hot seat. I hope you do. I had about enough of you. Man, take me out of here.
We'll see y'all later. Maybe tomorrow. Definitely Wednesday. And we are gone.
Yeah, take care.